Now, a little piece of advice: don't get too close to this devil. You know, try to help, because literally when you realize that he's got it and he really just needs you to take on the transponder, you'll try to break away from him and he will swing at your ass and he hits hard. So give him a wide berth. Notice, I'll take that stuff. It's like scripted in here. When you get about this far, another demon or devil or whatever shows up at the back end. So, as you're about to see.
It's clear. Hurry before they strike.
More bad guys, as you see. Switch to the bow. I love how you can switch on the fly and it doesn't matter. That's really helpful in my opinion.
Or your spine is mine.
Almost got him.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping he melee, so I could show you another trick, but that's okay. Let's do this one here. Okay. Oh, this is actually quite perfect. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to wound this one here. I'll show it to you with his next attack. He's dying. Oh, I was going to show it to you. What I was going to show you was this cleave move. Basically, if you're standing near a bunch of bad guys, like 2 or more, you have this cleave ability once a day. Once a short rest, where you can swipe in a big arc. It doesn't work with every weapon, but this weapon has that function. Other weapons have things like bash or whatever. So again, when you pick up a weapon, you will see its specialty profit. For example, the quarterstaff has the ability, I want to say, to trip a target as its action. This one's special action here. So again, you have a more likely to knock them on their butt kind of move, which is pretty nice, especially for like a wizard who kind of sucks at melee. Taking damage. Okay, here comes the other guy, see? This is our clue that we really need to get the hell out of here. Man, he's about to die. Oh, another one just showed up. Holy shit! Didn't see that there was 3 of them.
Before
That's how you do.
Alien transponder. You've made it in time.
Nice. Oh shit. So scary. Please don't eat me. Oh god. Even Altoid. Now that little thing on the ground there, I think is actually something that actually comes into play later in the game. You don't get to pick it up, because I've never seen it. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but notice something here. It's going to play a part in our escape. Sort of. Reach for it. Wait and do it. Oh. Got it. Boom. She'll be someone that I take this time around as the cleric. I'm not going to take the Githyanki with me this time. So there will be one difference from the last time I played this. And the reason for that is that I'd rather have the traditional team. So I'm the fighter-ish person. We will have a wizard on the team. We will have a rogue on the team. And we will have a cleric on the team. Oh, hey, baby. I think I actually found that guy, too. But more on that stuff later. The Githyanki is nothing more than a fighter. And again, you can make her just like your character. You can level them up and rank them up how you please. So she can be an Eldritch Knight like me, or make her like a Battle Master, which is what I did last time. And again, nothing wrong with having 2 fighters on the team, but not having a cleric was a real bad oops, in my opinion. We couldn't heal. The cleric has some really good abilities, obviously, for fighting undead, as I'm sure you know. So there's a lot of good stuff that having the cleric on the team. Part of it was we missed her. And again, I'll show you what that is at. We found her later on, so the game kind of forces them on, which is still fine. Let's see. Hotfix number 2 after the storm. Okay. I'm telling you, these guys are up on fixing this game. They want it to be released. It's going to be like a year before it's actually out official. I would actually be okay with them doing it as like episodes, like some games do these days, where they give you like the part 1, then part 2, and then part 3 kind of thing. I'd be actually fine with that, but they're probably not going to do that. They're just going to keep pressing through, fixing the stuff that they see here and using it to make sure that stuff in the future is already fixed, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind early access. The fact that it's the same price as the game is both good and bad. We should actually talk about that. Like if you buy it, there's no discount. But having said that, you're getting to play the game early and learning all about it. And again, the game is officially released. There's so much replayability that you'll definitely re-roll another character. Or the same one and have fun still. It's just cool. What's the item? Yeah, I told you it was going to help you swing in from the clutches of the mind. Ship's going down, yo. Ship's going down. She's listing. Oh, God. And we're basically dead now. Wait for it. Oh, nope, just kidding. It's a forest link. Gotta love it. Okay, so the piece is missing, and I can't seem to find the piece. Now, that doesn't mean it's not out here. Again, with my newfound skills of using the Alt button, maybe I will find it. Who knows? But I didn't the first time. So it's entirely possible it can't be found.
Fresh water. There must be a settlement nearby.
Alright, so first let's show you where you're at. Notice... oops. Yeah, to kind of zoom in with your cursor, kind of your finger pointing over the thing, to be able to zoom into the actual area. Notice you pan it around, you're actually looking for like a quest triangle to let you know where you might be going. If not, then you're really kind of on your own to kind of explore. Highly recommend you find yourself a teammate ASAP. Not a whole lot I can do about that, other than just to stumble bum into one. And again, you find like 3, like Johnny on the spot damn near, so it's not bad. Press crouch by mistake. Okay, and then I'll rotate our camera. That squid ship's seen better days, yeah. Alright, that barrel's got to have something in it. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Alright, plus spacebar when I do that. Okay, so this was the way I didn't go last time. I actually went back into the ship. We'll still do that, because there's stuff in the ship that you definitely want.
Must have been fishing when these monsters came. Bad luck.
Poor bastards. But this was, again, leading me towards the cleric that I never picked up. And quite a little story arc waiting for us as well. Shanties of the Bitch Queen. We all roll with a spray upon our necks. We all roll with a spray upon our backs. We all roll with the sea beneath our feet. And the Bitch Queen stays the storm. Nice. Nice jaunty tune. Backpack. Oops. I think you can pick up these items. Yeah. If you right click it and you see pick up, you have the ability to carry them with you and sell them. Of course, they're weight, but if you get to a vendor, you'll be surprised at how many things are actually something you could totally sell. For instance, let's look at our weight. You can see we're overweight right now, and it's these damn Nautilite tanks that are worth like $1. Let's just drop these things. And as you can see, I'm already back to being underweight. Very nice. We got some water. Nice battle axe. Notice the battle axe. See the cleave action? You see that there? Again, telling you what the weapon can do as a secondary stat. You'll see the same with your bows. Pinned down, same thing that I have with my short bow. A dagger, instead of a cleave, it's called slash. That's going to be, I want to say, a dot, a bleed over time. So again, depending on the type of weapon you equip, will depend on what you actually get out of the weapon. Still pretty cool. Let's do a quick save here because we're coming upon the cleric. Shadowheart is her name. And over here is our first ancient rune circle. This allows us to quick travel in the map to another one, but you need to know where another one's at.
The obstacles in my path. Blasted door! What? Stop! Not another step or I'll... Wait. It's you.
It is me.
You're the one who tried to free me on the ship. At least, you made the effort.
Suddenly, you see what she sees. Feel what she feels.
Oh, yeah.
Confusion, resolve, and a hint of gratitude.
Ah! Did you feel that? You've got the same thing I do. In your head.
That mind swap, I experienced it before on the ship. You felt it too?
The same. It must be that tadpole they put in our eyes. I assume that's what caused our minds to cross. These things are going to consume us from the inside and turn us into mind flayers. You and I need a healer. Finding one won't be easy in this wilderness. We'll need supplies. I'm hoping something of use might be behind this door, but I've barely made a dent in it so far.
If I don't waste your energy on that door, our captors might still be crawling about. Again, something that specifically only a fighter would actually get to say to her. Notice we have other stuff though. It looks like you need a hand. I doubt this is the only entrance. We could look elsewhere. What you are making is a racket. That noise is bound to attract attention. Yeah, that's true too. I like this one here. I doubt this is the only entrance we could. You could look elsewhere.
I was thinking the same thing. Around the top of this cliff, perhaps. Hopefully there's no more of these creatures along the way.
It'd be nice to have another hand in the fight.
Or just company for our final moments. But you're right. Whatever lies ahead will be a little less daunting with support. You can call me Shadowheart.
I'm Magus Dann. Let's make haste.
Lead the way.
Okay, notice that she's joined the team. She gets the same amount of XP as me. Click on the portrait to control the character. Drag portraits apart to split the party. So if you wanted to separate them, like that. See that? So now she's on her own and I could be literally left here and I could travel away from her. She would never move. If you want to put her back in, you just literally link them back up. Somehow. Stop that. Yeah, close enough. Anyway, point is, now she's part of the team. You see that we're linked together. We could scope out all this stuff just to make sure. If you had a thief on the party, you have a chance to pick the lock. See how it says lockpick? We don't have the option, so we use the door. It's locked, which of course was what she was telling me in the first name place. So she probably thinks you're an idiot now for trying to open the door that she's been trying to open all this time. Anyway, now we can move.
More of those wretched things.
Oh, see that? Devours. Notice the pods. Remember, the pods can be shot, whether we're talking magic or with arrows. Commence battle. So there's 3 of them. 1, 2, where's the 3rd?
Vicious filth. Best keep some distance or this will be a short fight.
Now notice some things with her. Okay, so she's using a different weapon than you. So she got her main hand attack, bludgeoning damage, clearly. Probably a mace of some kind or a hammer. Notice how she has smash as her option. Make a melee weapon attack that deals 1d6 +2 bludgeoning damage. Basically just more damage is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. It's an extra 2 damage. Nothing wrong with that though. And then of course she has her throw, dash, knock unconscious. So if you want to subdue someone, this is an option, by the way. And help action, you will use this a lot. We'll get into that once we need it. And those are literally her actions. Why those are on their separate bar here and these ones are on another bar seems dumb to me. To me, I would have had those under here as well. But I guess it's because they want to be able to toggle between weapon sets, which I suppose. These are definitely different than the ones below them. Again, these are your bonus actions, which again, bonus actions can be spells, using items like potions. So she has a variety of stuff that on her kit of things to do. Notice she has 2 scrolls of Revivify, it looks like. She has a scroll of Detect Thoughts, Blessing of the Trickster. This is just something that she has from her deity, I imagine. Her deity. Grant another creature advantage on stealth checks. Kind of cool. Charm Person, level 1 spell. Notice the level 1 here, the spells of those 2 blue pips. If you highlight it and you see it blinking, that's letting you know this is the one you'll use. Okay, so you see that if there's 2 pips that she has fully charged, that means she has 2 spell slots available for level 1. So one use of this would use up the pip that's blinking. Disguise Self, again another pip. As you change all aspects of your appearance, I'm assuming that's for some sort of intimidation or a stealth check or something like that, where you're trying to, pass yourself off as someone else. And that may come into play, by the way, I don't know this, but it may come into play like in a conversation setting, where, it's a cutscene, and because you have that spell equipped and ready to use, like it'll pop up as a dialogue choice, say, hey, do you want to use this spell? Which would be baller. Same, I think, with like your Charm Person stuff. So again, another one that you might want to keep at the ready. Notice that we have Resistance as a cantrip, bonus to saving throws, Guidance, which is an amazing bonus to your ability checks, Sacred Flame. Now this is a cantrip that does damage. I want you to see something. You activate it. See how we have a chance to hit? She doesn't have a ranged weapon. See that? So this is really our only real option here for screwing something over. 50-50 chance for either of those guys. So I made a saving throw apparently. It's okay. And she's probably got equal to or better armor than me because of her shield. So we're gonna have her stand right here. There goes number 3. Missed me. Ooh, tagged her good. We might show you that help action here before too long already. For here, I say let's use this because we definitely want this thing to die. One enough, kid. One enough. Notice if I move away, let's actually show it to you. You see that red dagger that's pointing from it to me? By me moving away, that's the attack of opportunity. Okay, so that's something you want to look out for. Now, that doesn't mean we can't get away from it. So how do we get away from it, brother? Well, I'm glad you asked. I see this jump disengage. You literally just hop, skip, and jump away. By doing that, you're not provoking attack of opportunity. And you saw the radius I have. The radius, by the way, is dictated, I believe, by how strong your character is. The stronger you are, the farther you can jump. And of course, there's spells that can enhance this as well. But that's her movements. Now, I want to finish this guy off. Notice I also have this as a possible option. See how they're both within the effect? It's kind of hard to make out on the ground, but it's definitely there. You see a little weird shadow. Because they're both within the effect, I'm basically swinging at 2 for the price of 1. I can only do this again once a day. See, I was able to kill one and damage another. Totally worth, right? Notice, I don't want to disengage. I want to be the front guy. I want to be away from her so she can cast her spell again. But what do I want to do instead? Well, I have options. Again, notice I have my second wind, but I haven't taken any damage. And notice I have shove. That's what shove does. And I could have, if I positioned myself a little better, I could have shoved him into the fire, for example. It would have been a good combat. Shove him off a cliff. You get the idea. Push him towards an enemy. Play a little dungeon pool. Bastards hit hard though. Okay, so she needs to totally put that smackdown on him again. So let's do that sacred flame again. Ah, it worked. Lemon spoonful. I'm gonna have you stand here. So I will shoot this guy up. Ooh, that was almost enough to kill him. And from here, my second wing. You can see my health. Bonus action. Reactivate it on yourself, confirming that you want to use it. Wow, that's a lane 3 heal. Okay, well, it's what it is. Might keep me from dying. You missed her. Good job. Let's just have her melee him. 90% chance. Ooh, and look at a level up for the both of us. Pimps! Leveling up. To level up, use the cross button on the character's portrait in the bottom left to gain the benefits of leveling up. Finish. Okay, so let's level her up first. Notice, before you say accept, don't click this until you've checked every possible thing that you got here. We don't have any points to add here. I think that's at every 4th level. So 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Which is, again, a lot like Pathfinder. We're going from Cleric 1 to Cleric 2. There is no multi-classing yet in the game. But it's okay. Notice that we have prepared spells. If we wanted to change stuff, we can customize that. So look at this. Here's all her spells that are available to her. Notice that these are all level 1 stuff, right? So we have Bane has already been picked. Command has been picked. Create Water is picked. Guiding Bolt. That one's some 4d6. That's some nice damage right there. Healing Word, a nice range heal. So like if someone's like way the hell over there and your team is dying, you can, hey, heal! And then poof, heal them up a little bit. It's not amazing compared to, say, Cure Light Wounds, 1d8 plus 3 versus 1d4 plus 3. But this one you have to touch them on the shoulder. And again, nothing wrong with that. But again, you know that Healing Word is powerful for the fact that you can cast it at distance. Notice we also have Inflict Wounds, Protection from Evil and Good, Shield of Faith, and Bless. Now, on this list of stuff that's up here, I don't think I really want Bane, or Command for that matter, but I do like Create Water, Guiding Bolt, Healing Word. We need 2 more slots to fill. I don't mind Cure Light Wounds because it is a different type of spell, and I do like Bless because it's a solid buff for you and your team. Bless up to 3 creatures, they receive D4, 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws while the buff is on. Notice that this concentration is required. That means if you get smacked around and you break concentration, then the spell wears off. So be clear on those. And again, same with like Shield of Faith is another concentration one, as is Protection from Evil and Good. And again, these are good spells. If you ever played D&D or Pathfinder, you know that these are good choices. Once you've selected the ones that you're happy with, just say done, and those are now picked for you for the day, so to speak. Notice that we have a new Trickery Domain level 1 to 2 subclass feature. We have new ability called Invoke Duplicity. Won't let us do anything with it. I was kind of hoping it'd pop up in the menu. But I guess all we're going to find out about is what's right here. So let's see what he says. It's an action, so it's not a reserve action or whatever, not a swift action kind of thing. It's something that's going to take your attack to do this. Summon an illusion to distract your enemies. You and your allies receive advantage on attack rolls against a creature if both the attacker and the illusion are within 10 feet of it. That's not bad. So basically, you summon this little hidden duplicate of you, let's say. They think, hey, this is a bad guy, and they're distracted by it, and that's such that you come on and club them upside the head. Now, advantage in this game, if I understand this correctly, this is basically AD&D 5th edition rules. What advantage, in a nutshell, is, same with disadvantage, is you roll twice. Doesn't matter if it's advantage or disadvantage, but what does matter is what happens. So you roll twice with advantage, you take the best of the two. If you have disadvantage, you roll twice and you take the worst of the two. You see how disadvantage can screw you big time, and you can see how advantage can definitely help you. So you can see the appeal here. But that's basically what it does. Now that we've selected everything that we can select and are happy with, notice by the way, we also got Turn Undead ability. It's not a spell. It looks like it's 3 times a day. That's what that 3 means, I think. Maybe that's just 3 undead that are affected. Who knows? Present your holy symbol and pray. Each undead you can see or hear you is forced to flee from you. That's from our Channel Divinity ability. Very nice. Now that we're happy with everything, we just say accept. She's level 2 now. You know, the corresponding HP increases and everything. So you can see she's already up to a decent health again. Me, I'm at 8 right now, but I'm about to get better. Now, again, no points. Level 2 fighter. Notice I'm still not Eldritch Knight. But I get my new feature, Action Search. This is the reason you love being a fighter. If for no other reason, let me phrase it this way. If multi-class is ever going to exist in this game, 2-level dip into fighter is because of this. That's why you 2-level dip into fighter. Besides some other things, like unlocking armors, shields, martial and simple weapon proficiencies, a variety of cool shit shows up just for being 2 levels of fighters. But this here is the biggie. And then level 1, as you saw, we have the ability to self-heal. Not a lot, but once a day you can just, I'm healed, and it's a little bit of health. When you're out of potions, be surprised how helpful that is. But this extra action around, only once a day, once per long rest, is a solid buff. Now notice, we get to choose a class passive. So look at what these do. If we want to be an archery focused guy, +2 to attack rolls you make with ranged weapons. Now I assume, and I don't know this yet, but I assume, because remember I'm going to go Eldritch Knight. That means I could technically be an Eldritch Archer, so to speak, by just taking this. I don't think this would benefit us for like raise spells. It says ranged weapons. I would assume that that's baked in for actual ranged weapons, which we do have one, and we have a bow. Why not be good at it? But remember, if we were going to do that, I probably would have started off with less strength, more dex. But again, on you. Notice that we have defense as a choice, +1 bonus to armor class, while wearing armor, which we're always going to do. Solid choice. Dueling. When you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and the other hand is empty, you gain +2 to damage rolls with that weapon, increasing your chance to do heavy damage. Not bad. I don't know why you'd want to have an empty hand free, but whatever. Great weapon fighting. Now, when you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack with a 2-handed melee weapon, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll. Which, so what? If you rolled a 2 and then you rolled a 1 or another 2 again, you're not really that far off. But if you roll a 2 and get a 6 suddenly, you can see the appeal here. So a good chance to do solid damage. Protection, when you have a shield, which we don't have, we impose disadvantage on an enemy who attacks one of your allies when you are within 5 feet. You must be able to see the enemy. So again, disadvantage, just talk about what that does. Notice 2-weapon fighting style. When you attack with 2 weapons, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the offhand attack. Normally you don't get that, so you just do base damage of the weapon. But it's an extra attack, so it's still worth having. It's just this would make you a better 2-weapon wielder. I like defense, personally speaking, and as an Eldritch Knight, I'm going to be all about the armor and the buffs for myself to increase my strength and my armor, my swing, maybe a spell or 2 to do some offensive attacks, at range, a nice fireball spell, for example. Everybody likes a nice fireball spell. If I can get something like, and I know you'll be able to pick up, like I said, for Eldritch Knight, you get only to pick from schools that are Abjuration and Evocation at level up when you get to pick your spells. And you don't have a spell book, you memorize your spells. So there's that, no scribing anything with you. But that's actually good, because that means you know what your spells are, period. From there, again, Abjuration and Evocation, again, basically we're talking buffs and shields and wards and protection, as well as damaging attacks, by and large. That's what Evocation is going to be. But at every level, when you get access to a new spell level, which includes level 3, because that's when we get access to level 1 spells, they allow you to pick one other spell. That could be anything from any other spell book, or from the schools. So if you wanted to be a Necromancer, there's at least 4 spells that you're going to be able to pick up by the end of this build that can be Necromancy spells, and that's perfectly fine. If you want to be a Conjurer, you're not going to be great at it, but again, you can pick up 4 Conjuration spells. The same with, again, if you just wanted to double down on Evocation, or again on the Abjuration, again, that's on you. My thoughts on this, and I know I'm kind of prattling on here, but it's important. My thoughts are, you've got plenty of damage with Evocation, you've got plenty of buff, like armor and whatnot from Abjuration. I'm thinking Transmutation, personally speaking. Why? It would be nice to have a spell or 2 that, like Haste, is probably a Transmutation spell, Slow for some crowd control. Maybe, like I don't know if they call it this in this game, but like Bull Strength, Bear's Endurance, Cat's Grace, those kinds of spells. Again, why would you not want to be an Eldritch Knight that swings harder, that lifts more? Just bam, I'm buff, That's kind of my vein of where I'm driving for my character. But this is where I'm picking. Again, I'm happy with this choice. Again, I love my new action surge, and we will say accept.